Hello all. In the previous video, we have seen what's the life cycle of thread. We have seen what are the 5 stages, how thread moves from new state to runnable to running, and from running to running back to runnable with the help of yield, and from running to waiting, sleeping or blocking, and again back to runnable. So once it gets terminated, it can't be resumed back. So that thing we have examined in our last video. Today in this video we'll see how you can create threads. Okay, so threads can be created in two ways. uh, See, highlight which is important. We'll see how to create a thread with the help of these two ways. The first way is with the help of this interface name is runnable, which is present in the lang package. So with the help of java.lang.runnable you can create a thread. Okay, that is one technique. And the other technique is by extending the thread class. Okay, see the words they are using. As it is interface, you are using the word implementing. As it is thread class, you are using the word extending. Okay, so these two are the ways to create the threads, whether by implementing the runnable interface or by extending the thread class. Okay, so these two are the points we need to understand. Now we'll see step by step what are the various ways in see how you can create a thread with the help of runnable interface, and how can you create a thread with the help of thread class. Okay, see, if you before creating actual threads, we'll see what's there in the thread class. Okay, thread is a class thread is a class which is descendant of runnable interface. Clear? Thread is a class which implements the runnable interface. This is interface and this is thread. Okay, inside the thread class we have lot of members. Here few are listed, some important ones. The first one is thread constructor, and second one is also a thread constructor. Here we are watching two constructors. First creates the default thread. If you use this constructor, it creates a default thread, and if you use this constructor, it creates a thread for a specific task. Okay, it creates a thread from the runnable interface object, and it creates thread for that particular topic. And you have a start method which starts the thread. Okay, starting the thread means it starts executing the run method inside the thread body. Okay, if you want to check whether the thread is active or not, is it reached the terminated state or not, you can use is alive. Hope you all know all the methods which starts with is, return true or false, that is boolean. Okay, so it is used to test whether the thread is currently running or not. And set priority. When we have discussed thread lifecycle, I said that in there will be a runnable pool. In that, lot of threads will be waiting, and thread scheduler will pick one thread based on its priority or some other concept. Okay, if you want to assign a priority to a particular thread, you will use the method set priority. Okay, priority is a number. And if you want to know the priority of a particular thread, you can use the method get priority. These are not the only methods exist in thread class. Some of the methods are listed here. So if you use join, it will make you to make that thread to wait to finish. Okay. And sleep takes an argument milliseconds. Suppose if I give sleep of 1000, then it is 1 second. It puts the runnable object to sleep for a specified time in milliseconds. Okay, for that particular amount of time, thread will not perform any activity. It will be in idle state. And coming to yield method, it causes the thread to temporarily pause its execution and allow other threads to execute. If a thread is not executing, if a thread is not running, to which state it will go? It will go to the runnable again. Okay, so if you execute t1 dot yield, that t1 thread will stop its execution and moves to runnable so that other threads can execute. Okay. And next one is interrupt method. Interrupt method causes the interrupts the execution of a thread. These are some methods. Anyways, we'll see them in execution, then you'll understand well. So we have seen in our earlier videos also, we'll have, so suppose if you do not create many number of threads also, you will have one thread that is called as main thread. Okay. Whenever you start executing your Java program, it will start executing that particular thread that is called as main threads. From main thread, the child threads are created. Okay. So your program's execution will start from the beginning of the main thread. From that main thread, other threads will be created. See, suppose this is main thread. From this, other threads will be created. They will be executing in parallel with the main thread. Okay. This is executing, this is executing, this is executing, this is executing. As these are child threads and spawned from the main thread, so these threads need to be terminated before terminating this main thread. After termination of all these child threads, then only main thread gets terminated because their childs are still running. Okay. And there is a method called current thread. It is a static method of thread class, and it returns the reference to the thread in which it is called. From which thread we call that method, that thread's details it will give. We'll see the example, then you'll understand. Main thread.java, we'll see. Main thread.java. Yeah, this one. See, there is a class with the name main thread and main method is there. It's a simple program. Here, when we start executing the main method, it starts a thread. The thread name is main thread, we said. Okay. Here, I have not created any thread. By default, JVM creates a main thread in the main. Okay. And I am calling current thread. See how I am calling this current thread, thread.current thread. In the theory, I said current thread is a static method, no? So static methods are called with the help of class name. So thread class dot current thread. And the current thread details I have stored in empty, that I am printing here. Okay. Now I have changed the name of the thread. This is one more method, set name to set a name to the thread, get name to retrieve the name of the thread. And you can set the priority of a thread, get priority of the thread. These are the methods, and this is just to show you how to use methods with the thread object. Okay. After changing the name, you are printing this here. Just we'll see how it runs. Okay. Main thread.java. See, in the first output, current thread is thread. Thread name is main thread and its priority is 5. By default, the priority to any thread will be 5. Clear? And it is spawned from main. Okay. The thread name, priority and its parent name. After you change the name, it is a CSA thread and its priority is 8 and it is from main. Okay. So this, if you get current thread, if you execute current thread, it will return the name of the thread, from which it is originated, what is the priority of the thread, those details it will give. Clear? So as the video is going long, I'll stop here, and in the next video I'll tell you how to create a thread, our own thread, with the help of runnable interface and with the help of thread class. This video is just an introduction to know about main thread and how the methods can be used along with the main thread.